questions 11 through 20 on the 2005 Grade 9 Pascal Math Contest. If a, b, and c are positive integers, and a times b is 13, b times c is 52, and c times a is 4, the value of a times b times c is ab is 13, bc is 52, and ca is 4. Now, if you multiply all of these, you get ab times bc times ca, and that is going to be equal to 13 times 52 times 4, like that. Correct? Now, if I combine the like terms, it's a squared, b squared, and c squared. And the right side is 2704. Now, if you take the square root of both sides, something very interesting happens. You get ABC. And if you take the square root of 2704, you get 52. And that is exactly what they wanted us to figure out. A times B times C. So number 11, in a very quick way, we got 52, which is choice E. Point L lies on the line segment KM as shown. The value of W is. All right, like any line, it's going to have the equation y equals mx plus b. And let's see if we can figure out m and b. And then we can substitute in 6 for x and figure out w. All right, I'll put in this point first. So that would mean 11 is equal to 10m plus b. And put in this point. And that will give me 2 is equal to 4m plus b. Subtract both, and that will leave just 6m is equal to 9. And therefore m is equal to 9 over 6. Which is 3 over 2. Correct? Nothing fancy. Now let's try to figure out b. So I've got y is equal to 3 over 2x plus b. I can just substitute one of these points and I'll just put in that one. So that would mean 2 is equal to 3 over 2 times 4 plus b. And that means 2 is equal to, that looks like 6 plus b, and therefore b is equal to negative 4. So our equation, y equals mx plus b, is y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 4. And now we just substitute in the 6 for x, and then we can figure out w. So w is equal to 3 over 2 times 6 minus 4. And that looks like 9 minus 4. And therefore w is equal to 5. So number 12, the answer is B. 8 unit cubes are used to form a larger 2 by 2 by 2 cube. The 6 faces of this larger cube are then painted red. When the paint is dry, the larger cube is taken apart. What fraction of the total surface area of the unit cubes is red? All right, well, first and foremost, how many faces do we have if we have 8 unit cubes? Well, each of the 8 has 6 faces, so there's 48 faces. Now, when you paint this whole thing red, each unit cube, how many sides will it have red? Well, just take a look at the diagram. Only the sides that you can see will be painted. The inner sides that you can't see will not be painted. So for each of those cubes, 3 sides will be painted. So we got 8 unit cubes. Each one will have 3 sides that are painted red, and therefore a total of 28 will be red. And they want the fraction, so that's 24 over 48, which is, in lowest terms, 1/2. So number 13, the answer is C. A positive integer whose digits are the same when read forwards or backwards is called a palindrome. For example, 4664 is a palindrome. How many integers between 2005 and 3000 are palindromes? So 2005 to 3000, the numbers in between. Okay, well, it's a palindrome, so we've got to deal only with numbers 2006 to 2,999 inclusive, all right? So every one of those has a 2 as its first. So if it's a palindrome, the last digit also has to be a 2. That's the only way to make a palindrome. All right, so we now have to worry about what's in the middle. Well, what's in the middle, can it be 00? No, because 2002 is not in this range. Okay, valiant effort there, but that's incorrect. How about 2112? Sure, that will work. 2222? Yep, 332. All of these, you probably already have the hang of it after just writing a couple of these. All the way down to 2992. I think that's it. That'll be the only palindromes. How many do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's it. So number 14, the answer is C. When 14 is divided by 5, the remainder is 4. When 14 is divided by a positive integer n, the remainder is 2. For how many different values of n is this possible? Let's make a little table. N and R for remainder. And let's see what we get. Shouldn't be that difficult. Let's start with 1. If n is 1, then 14 divided by 1 is 14, I hope, and therefore the remainder is 0. And without boring you to death here, I'll just fill in the ones. You can, of course, easily do this. The remainders for each of these: 2, 5, 4, 6, 2. All I'm doing is just dividing by n and then figuring out what is the remainder. And let me see if I can squeeze this in. 10 would be 4, 11 would be 3, 12 would be 2, 13 would be 1, and 14, yeah, I just squeezed it in. All right. So how many different values of n is the remainder 2? Okay, there's 2, there's 2, there's a remainder of 2, and finally this is the remainder of 2. So the remainder is 2 when n was 3, 4, 6, and 12. So 4 values of n give a remainder of 2 when 14 is divided by n. So number 15, the answer is D. The digits 1, 2, 5, 6, and 9 are all used to form 5-digit even numbers in which no digit is repeated. The difference between the largest and smallest of these numbers is. It's a 5-digit number, and we've got to create 2 of them. We've got to create the largest one and the smallest one, and then we've got to subtract them. That's what they mean by difference. All right, let's create the largest one with these numbers. Now, remember, if we're creating a large number, we have to make the digits as large as possible in terms of the beginning to the end. What I mean by that is that we want the largest numbers to go first, and then the second largest number to go second, and so on. So obviously the 9 is going to go first. The next biggest digit is a 6, then a 5, and then at this point, just pause for a second, because please do not put 2, 1. You say, well, why? Why can't I do that? Because it has to be an even number. Don't make that mistake. That's a heartbreaker. So instead of 2, 1, the only way is 1, 2. That's the only way this number will be even. Okay, we got that one. I'm pretty sure that's the largest one we can make with the criteria in the question. Now let's do the smallest one. Same kind of principle, but now we're working this way. Okay, or you can go this way with the smallest numbers. Either way, it doesn't matter. Let's do it this way with the smallest numbers. Sure. So smallest number is 1. Next one is 2. Then 5. And now, again, please do not put 6, 9, because that is not an even number. the only way to make it even with the remaining two digits is 9 and 6. Okay? So those are our two numbers that are even, and that is the largest one, and that's the smallest one. 96512 And if you take their difference, it is 83916. And that is choice A for number 16. In the diagram, rectangle PQRS is divided into three identical squares. If PQRS has a perimeter of 120 centimeters, what is its area in centimeters squared? Well, these are identical squares, so I'll just label them X, X in terms of their side length, like that. They tell you the perimeter is 120, so that means 8x is 120. Solving for x, we get x equal to 15. And now they want an area. Well, the area will be length times width, x times 3x. Substituting 15 for x, we get 15 times 45. And that gives me an answer of 675. So number 17, the answer is B. When the expression 2005 squared plus 2005 to the power of 0 plus 2005 to the power of 0 plus 2005 to the power of 5 is evaluated, the final two digits are. Final two digits, okay. Well, this is a very big number here. I don't think most calculators will do that. Otherwise, it'd be pretty easy, right? Just put it into your calculator. What's the last two digits? So they want us to think a little bit here instead of just plugging it in. All right. I'm willing to think. I'm up for the challenge. 2005 to the power of 0 is just 1, so that's easy. But 2005 to the power of 5 is not as easy. All right, let's just leave it like that. Well, 2005 to the power of 2, most calculators will be able to figure that out. I don't think that will be a problem. Now, 2005 to the power of 2, I'll just write it here on the side here, because what I'm hoping for is that there's going to be some sort of a pattern. 4,020,025. Okay. Doesn't really help me, but at least I know the number. What about if I do to the power of 3? If you have, everybody's got a smartphone nowadays, and if you have one, you can easily just turn the phone sideways and you get a lot more digits. And that's exactly what I did. And I was able to get this number. It's 8,150,125. Okay. The last two digits are 25 in both of those. I'm going to do one more because I think that's as far as I can go in my calculator. Oh, this is huge. Oh boy, this is 16. I believe that's trillion. 160 billion, 601 million, 0,00625. And again, the last two digits are 25. And if I try once more, unfortunately, my calculator does whatever it's called, an e to the 16, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't give me a number. Oh, that's okay. No problem. I think I can figure this out. I'm pretty confident that 2005 to the power of 5, the last two digits are 25. ... All right? So if that is true, we can just look at the last two digits. 2005 to the power of 2, well, we know for a fact the entire number, but I'm just going to put the last two digits right there. ... Like that. 1 plus 1, obviously that's 2, and then 2005 to the power of 5, the last two digits, I believe, I'm confident that it's going to be 25. So if I add this up, this will be 25, 25, and 2, which is 52. And therefore, number 18, the answer is A. A whole number is called decreasing if each digit of the number is less than the digit to its left. For example, 8540 is a decreasing 4-digit number. How many decreasing numbers are there between 100 and 500? 100. Okay, I'm going to start with the 400s. Obviously, I've got to make a decreasing number, so the next number can only be, for example, 3, and then the next number can only be a 2. So that's one example. I can probably make several more, 431 and 430. I think that will qualify. Now I've exhausted the 4 3s. Let's go down to the 4 2s. 421, 420. And now let's go to the 4 1s, 410. And I think that's it. Now let's get to the 300s. 321, 320, 310. Now let's get to the 200s. 210, and I believe that's it. And that's it, because if you get to hundreds, you say, well, what about 110? That's not decreasing, right? Because this one ties this one. It's not less than it. So that's no good. So this is it. And this is how many? 10. So number 19, the answer is B. Harry the hamster is put in a maze and he starts at point S. The paths are such that Harry can move forward only in the direction of the arrows. At any junction, he is equally likely to choose any of the forward paths. What is the probability that Harry ends up at B? All right. Well, how do I want to do this here? Do I want to use the diagram? It might get a little messy. Sure. I think you'll be able to see it. Okay. Let's start right here. At that point, he's going to go either here, here, or here. And each of those is with equal probability. Equally likely, it says in the question. So he can go here 1/3 probability, here 1/3, and here there's a 1/3. Equally likely to go each of those paths. Now, once he gets to here, he can go either this way or this way, and each of those are equally likely. So he can go this way a half, and this way a half. Okay? And then when he gets here, there's only one way to go, and that's here, and that's 1. A probability of a full 1, 100%. And then once he gets to here, it's 1/3 to go here, 1/3 probability of to go here, and 1/3 probability to go down to D. All right, now let's circle the probabilities that we are interested in. We want to get to B, right? Okay, we can do that in the following ways. The first way is this one and this one. The next way is this one and this one. And the last way is this one and that one. Okay, so the first one is 1/3 times a half. Add to it the next one, which is 1/3 times 1. And add to it the last one, which is 1/3 times 1/3. So that gives you 1/6 plus 1/3 plus 1/9. Now let's add these. Common denominator is, I believe, 18. And then that would mean 3, 6, and 2. And that gives me 11/18. And therefore, number 20, the answer is C.